nothing moves, this will stay exactly where it is.
If nothing what?
If nothing moves, this will stay exactly where it is.
I'm sure it's gonna move.
Yep. Alright. Is there a microphone option? I'm gonna put your battery in here. So if it gets damaged, I'm gonna put this over here. That's an interesting question.
It's warm over here in general.
Yeah, totally. All right, we'll get some microphones hooked up over here. To your skin, it holds it to like your shirt and shit.
Yeah, that's why.
Totally. What up, people? So we're back at it again. D-Lane and Mike.
What's good, but guys?
We're here. We got the bottom end in, and Mike will give you the rest of the updates.
Pistons are in, the jugs are on. I'm doing the last bit of torquing right now. We'll be installing the lower case half, the oil pump, and the strainer, the lower case half, transmission, the cross through for the coolant system, for the oil cooler. Hopefully getting to the point of remounting the stator and putting the covers back on.
That'd be insane.
But right now, this is where we are.
Right,
I'll hold it.
That's crazy. So the other day I asked him, when you're using, I asked him when you're using the tool to make sure everything gets torqued, the torque wrench, are you ever nervous? He said, hell yeah.
Always nervous.
Always.
I know the stuff's made to do it and you're torquing to a spec,
Right.
but you never really know.
Yeah, that shit seems like it would make my fucking head. I mean, shit, even when I'm tightening bolts that have nothing to do with the torque spec. Oh, right. So we have dowel pins that are in the case half, and they are pushed deeper into the dowel spacing than they need to be. So you have to figure out pushing them out. Which one will be over here? Yeah.
And this one will be second hole right there.
Yep. Right, so we're good. Dowels are in.
So, case half, the bolts, it's gonna get silicone, so we need to clean the surface. Yep. So brake clean or a rag.
It had to be something clean, right?
Just clean all the maintenance surfaces. I'm gonna look. I know silicone goes some places, don't go others. So
Okay.
I'll look at and see what's what.
So we're just gonna brake clean all the matting surfaces just to see And this is just gonna do this so that our silicone has a nice clean surface to mat to. And that way we get no leaks once this bad boy gets put back together. Go one more time around. So things are getting exciting because we're just getting closer and closer to getting this R1 on the road. The main idea here was, obviously it would give me a bike to ride, but this was our second rental vehicle. You guys remember when we first introduced this stuff on the board many videos ago, aka like 3, we told you about that. So we also have some other exciting things to discuss, which we're not ready to reveal just yet, but it's gonna be good. Really good. I meant to bring my iPad for you so we can set over here. You'll always be able to see that stuff while you're right there. Forgot about that. I ordered the frame sliders and something else. I still didn't get the stickers just yet.
Okay.
Because when I was looking, I didn't find the mobile one on Amazon.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of the Yamaha Lube ones, Yamaha High Performance, but it wasn't one for the mobile one. So I figured I'll just pick up from the store local. Those are the ones that normally have like the mobile one brand. What are you matching?
I'm just looking at the surfaces where I'm going to lay the silicone at versus what everything I need to move and line up at. But I'm looking at the transmission forks,
right?
looking at the main caps ready to go. This is
this fucking thing here. Pull up on that.
silicone across here.
Only on the outer edges?
Yeah. It's that photo right over there. The one on the right with the dark spots.
Yep. So it only goes outer casing stuff.
Outer casing all through here, all the way up to
all the way out
here.
to that edge.
And this
then
one,
the next edge down,
and
which
this one
starts there, right?
The next one follows here. From here down. This has a seal that's not in there.
Right.
Here over to here. Alright.
So you're actually siliconing this piece, not the other end. This is that piece.
Yeah, I'm putting it on. That's the little thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go from.
So you're basically doing
this whole top piece.
The whole top piece.
From here.
Yep. All over
to here. All of this.
Yep. And then
this back piece is from here. Here, all the way up, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Just across. Yeah. All right. That's all I'm putting silicone. You already wiped this, right?
Everything's wet.
Yeah. Well, you gotta mark it.
Oh wait, no. I didn't like this one.
Okay.
I only like this side. I failed my job. Where's the mouth of your marker? So some cool news, we officially started our LLC for the Vagrant Automotive brand. which consists of this podcast, some apparel, and a bunch of other stuff we're doing. Some of which we already mentioned. It is an official entity. You're all set.
I think that's what they call a shifter drum.
Probably. Technically, actually, because that moves these pieces. Right. Semi-clean. That's like clean it off. Okay. Look. You want to do that anyway?
No, I wasn't.
Just nice
small bead.
yeah. But this way won't be fine.
Just like the true out.
Right.
Which is what that's all good.
So what happened was the cap that allows for you to feed the sealant through is not staying threaded onto the top. It keeps popping off.
This is really, really thick.
It's super thick, very, very thick and heavy.
GM assembly stuff. Same shit with Honda Bond and Yamaha Bond and all Bond.
Everybody's
Except for
Bond.
gel, except for gel Bond.
No gel bond. You can assemble engines before you run into that problem. Where the little tube didn't do what it was supposed to.
Engine, transmission,
Trannies, yeah.
neutral fender shift boxes.
Neutral, gender, shit. That means they go forward and no offense. Like what you like. You are who you think you are.
Inside here?
No,
Cavities? Or oil cavities, yeah, in the both
businesses make people do it.
Right. So, what do you think is going to happen with Alex Marquez and Mark Marquez? Alex, today is April 28th. As of the race yesterday, Alex Marquez was number 1 in the championship. His brother had a little crash.
Mark crashed,
Yep.
and he finished, but he finished like 15th or something.
Yeah.
So he didn't finish in the top for the points, which puts Mark on the sprint, so they put Alex back in the lead by 1.
Are they getting race points for winning the sprints?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, so I took the lead
That's how I
from his
took the
brother
lead
from the last time.
yeah.
Mark, anyways, really got 1 speed.
Right.
And that's go.
I'm gonna get it done. Or crash.
Yep.
And we've seen it his whole career. Although he doesn't ride like he did when he was, you know what I mean?
It was a Honda.
When he was a Honda, yeah.
Controller.
It's definitely a lot. So will you double it on this end too? No.
You don't need a lot.
No.
They're machine surfaces.
Right, so they're already super thin pairs. That's what you mean when you say that?
Yeah, there ain't much room anyway. So,
There you go.
yep. Yep. Mr. What? I know the other ones are there.
We're not flushed down yet. So. Come up some? We don't have to go in. Does that go in here?
I don't know where it goes, but we don't
This is
find
the valve spot right here. Okay. Where'd you put it?
What?
Doesn't fit, yeah.
We got the other 3. We did anyway. Well, now one's in here.
One's in there still.
Yep, 2 are in there.
Alright, cool. Sorry about that. Make sure we're good.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Just a little jiggle. All right.
You have to stay here, you have oil, the motherfucker leaks.
Hmm?
There's oil in there because that bitch leaks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
On the oil pump over.
Yep.
Alright.
So our apparatus.
Yep, our bolt holder.
Okay. All right. So you guys need to understand that Mike is one of the most innovative people on the planet. He created a custom bolt outline out of that cardboard box.
So we know where everything goes.
We know where everything
If you're ever doing a job and you don't know, stab it with the screwdriver. A, it feels great to stab the box. B, it keeps your bolts in order. Like we're gonna take this outside before we start, and we're gonna brake clean all these bolts.
Cool.
Cut a hole in here too, so you can brake clean the threads.
Okay.
Some of these bolts are gonna get assembly lube. Some of these bolts get motor oil, and there's one of these. I forget which number it is. Only one gets Loctite. So, gonna go through them all. We're gonna clean the threads up so I can put the right fluid on there. These are definitely dirty from being jostled around.
Yep. Take a window.
Yep. And I use this pocket screwdriver in here. If you can see, it's yellow. I use that to hold up the oil on the oil pump chain on the main drive, just so it didn't fall down in there. So I don't have to mess around chasing it out. Just chilling. So. And yeah, we'll get this thing together. There's a torque sequence, there's like 30 something bolts. We get the torque sequence down and go from there.
Okay.
Clean up the excess silicone right now. So make it look a little cleaner and nicer once it's installed.
Start with my little half can.
If any of you guys do any of these projects, don't cut any corners. Try to follow everything to the best of your ability. I do have a laptop right there with a book, a full shot manual, so I'm able to stop and use it for reference. Sometimes the diagrams suck, and I have to go through it. Mind you, I'm a 20-year automotive technician, so it's the same, but it's different. It kind of goes, yeah. Almost
Do
lower.
you need to hand wipe them, or you just want them rinsed off? What's it? Shake.
I'll throw it up there, but take 5, let them dry down.
Let them dry off.
Yeah. And these are all numbered.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I remember. Numbers are crazy. So when we say they're all numbered, I will show you the case half. wanted to do this a very specific way. Yep. Alright. So you can see here on the case half, we've got little numbers starting like number 8, 10, 11, 16, 28, 13, 15. So each of those numbers, see them here, 30, 10, 7, 31. That's going to help us with the pattern and where the bolts actually go. Can we do something?
Can you rotate that one?
Where's the one?
There you go. Okay, yeah,
What
yeah.
about that?
Yeah, when you moved it, it went. Yeah, I'm good. It was fine before. I can't see it being a problem now.
Right.
Alright, so.
Alright, so we just verified that we're getting some shifts in the gearing. Now we put bolts where they go. But some of them need oil, some of them don't. When I turn into more an emotional observer, just watch the master at play over here. I don't always participate, but just
Filling all the threads and oil. That's what the book says to do. When you do that, it helps the bolts bite and go to proper torque. I'm not tightening with this. I'm literally just running them down. I'm barely touching them. So I'm not disrupting the torque. I'm just running them in to save time. those guys. We got 2 there.
19 through 1 through 18.
Oh, no, I'm good.
19 through 40, except for 31.
Where's 31 at? That's where I need to find.
That's the one that gets the Loctite.
Yeah,
It's on
I
the
know.
left side.
I thought it was on that side. I saw it.
So don't put that one in there. Put that right there.
That's the one that gets the Loctite. All the other ones get engine oil.
Yes. We're gonna get them all started, and then we're gonna go back and look at the sequence and follow how the book says. Huh? I think so. I'm just going in order so I don't mess something up.
This is the tedious stuff. The torque spec is crazy. I mean, the torque sequence is wild.
Jumping around.
Yeah.
There's some method. Their
Yeah,
main
for
focus
sure.
is to be around the crank,
Right.
and they work their way around
Work
from
your way
there.
around from there,
Yeah.
yeah. You think there's people who torque it any way they want?
Yeah. People do whatever the fuck they want all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Clean ones always go inside.
camera. Light.
Yep. To your left.
Oh, grab it. Oh, grab it. So 1, 2. We got 3 bolts left. Oh, we got 31. I didn't put it yet. That's why. Alright, we're good. No, this one's a clean guy. That's up there. I remember that one being nice. Long. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Sorry, you shake
Did you get started?
that. This is 31. I'm not worried about that right this second. Back to that.
The torque spec is wild because you got to torque it down to one and then torque it to another one, right?
Yeah, sequence.
Yeah. And then a degree.
So,
Crazy.
just for the record, just stressing, I am using the drill, but I haven't done it for 20 years, and this is my weapon of choice I use every day. Multiples of these.
Yeah, I noticed when I was trying to get that tank off, I think I need to get the door, gas door off the tank.
To open it to get the bolt back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to get the bolt back out.
Alright, so everything's in except for 31. Okay,
31 is locked up.
yeah, we're not locked in right this second, right? So, alright, so first torque sequence is what? 11 through 20. What about 1 through 10? Lubricating out of job. Let's lubricate. 10, so
Which doesn't make sense, right?
nope.
I can't check my phone because it's up there.
Scroll back so we have a good 1 through 10. I know it's listed, but 1, 2, set. 1, 2, 3, 4, alright. Oh, literally right there around the crank. Alright. So remember how snug everything was?
Yeah.
They all backed off because
By
everything,
putting those
everything
other
else.
ones in,
Yeah.
Off the way.
One. Two, 3. Four. Five, right there. 6. 6. 6. 7 over here, light please. That's 7, yep. 7, 8. Above it, yep. Thought so. That's 30. I think 30 should get torque. Why the crank? So 1 through 10, right?
It says 1 through 10 and then 11 through 40.
11 through 40.
Yeah, so 1 through 10 is first.
Alright, so 7, 8, 9. Depends on what it is over here.
13, 12,
11,
13,
18, 22, 15. I think that's it. I'm torquing it. It's gonna be torqued anyway, right? It's 30 is the same torque.
Yeah.
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 All the different torques. I'm telling you, that's it, bro. That's 10. It's gotta be.
Why do you think it's 10?
That's where it's at on the fucking book, under number 7. 30 right there, that might be number 30.
This is 31.
Up here it's 10 right there. It's on the crank, so it makes sense.
Better to double, triple check than it is to assume.
Yep, these are air rubber machines.
Yep.
Alright, so what was the next? We should do number 1 on everything. So 11 through 20 is 17. It's all pretty much at one side, it looks like. Ah, I see. The bigger bolts get the 17, the smaller bolts get the 7. 21 through 40, the smaller bolt is 7 foot-pounds.
Right. So 11's right here. Then 12 is right next to it. 13, 12. This is still right there. What's this? 15, 16. It's 11 to 20.
No, that stopped right here, which is 18. Where's 19, 20? 20's right here. 19 on the other side. Probably a big head of bolt.
40.
This 16, 17, of 18, or 19.
What's that?
Alright, so that's 11 through 20. So 21 through 40. I have a foot pounds, or inch pounds, I mean, so we can get a smaller grab. If I have it here, it might work.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Nope.
I can't check my phone because it's up there.
Scroll back so we have a good 1 through 10. I know it's listed, but. Two, set. One, two, three, four, hard. Oh, literally right there around the crank. All right. So remember how snug everything was?
Yeah.
They all backed off because everything
other
else.
ones in
Yeah.
there.
One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. 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 Seven over here, like this. That's seven. Yep. Seven. Eight. Nine right above it, yep. Thought so. Four, 10, 17, 7, that's 30. But I think 30 should get torque. Why the crank? So 1 through 10, right?
It says 1 through 10 and then 11 through 40.
11 through 40.
Yeah, so 1 through 10 is first.
Alright, so 7, 8, 9. Depends on what he says up here. 13, 12, 11, 15, 18, 22, 15. I think that's it. I'm torquing it. It's gonna be torqued anyway, right? It's 30, 30, same torque.
Yeah.
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 works. I'm telling you, that's it, bro. That's 10. It's gotta be.
What do you think it's 10?
That's where it's at on the fucking book, under number 7.
Okay.
30 right there, that's might be number 30.
This is 31.
Up here it's 10 right there.
Yeah.
It's on the crank, so
Right.
it makes sense.
Better to double, triple check than it is to assume.
Yep, these are very regular machines.
Yep.
Alright, so what was the next? We should do number 1 on everything. So 11 through 20 is 17. It's all pretty much at one side, it looks like. Oh, I see. The bigger bolts get to 17, smaller bolts get to 7. 21 through 40 is a smaller bolt, 7 foot-pounds.
Right. So 11's right here. Eleven. 12 is right next to it. 13, 12. This is 12 right there. It's 11 through 20.
No, that stopped right here, which is 18. Where's 19, 20? 20's right here. 19 on the other side for this. Probably a big head of bolt.
40.
This one reads
16, 17, or 18. Where's 19 go?
it's
Alright, so that's 11 through 20. So 21 through 40. 7. I have a foot pounds, or inch pounds, I mean, so we can get a smaller grab. If I have it here, it must work.
it's really comfortable.
She's little. Likes to go. Goes where you put it.
Yeah.
And it holds strong.
That's the one thing that was cool about the switching from the 05 636 to the 05 ZX10. The only difference was power. everything else felt exactly the same. The nimbleness, like everything felt exactly the same. I missed that bike.
The 10 or
The 10, bro. The 10. The 66 was just a stepping stone. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed it. It's crazy how I got that bike. Do you remember?
Yeah, someone you worked with, right?
Yeah. The chick that I work with, her husband, she didn't want him to have it no more. And he came by with it one time, and she was like, I've been trying to get rid of him to get rid of that thing. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah. And I was like, well, let me ride it. I'd never ridden one. And she was like, yeah, just go by the house. Like, just go grab it. So I went by their house. No one was there. I went by the house. I pulled it out of the fucking. They kept it inside their basement, so it was like a sliding door basement, not a garage door. So I got it out of the basement, and then I sat there, and I was like, well, how do you even start this thing? So then I figured out key, then I figured out starting, and I'm like, all right, well, it's like a stick, so I got to figure out that part. And I got it in first gear, and I'm like, all right, I know this is the clutch, this is the gas, so I just let the clutch slowly pull me off. Gave a little gas, and I was like, oh shit, all right. And then I was like, well, how do you turn? So I was like going straight, and I was like, I need to turn. And I was only going like 10 miles an hour. Just not even, I didn't even get off their block yet. I just was like fucking.
I remember taking the Hurricane up
trying to figure it out. Yo, remember that?
That joint, you had to be on the throttle.
That thing was dangerous.
Go nowhere.
That joint was
And then it would
dangerous.
just go.
Carbureted, man. That thing was terrible.
That thing was scary.
The Hurricane was crazy. I remember when I was doing that.
That was the first bike I rode that, and then my dad had that CBR or CB350.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you remember the F4 that I had back there that I would ride around a little bit?
Vaguely.
So I had the CBR F4 and I had the Hurricane back there.
What was wrong with the F4? No, it was busted up.
I never could get that thing right. It was mangled. I bought it thinking I'd be able to repair it, but that bike was mangled.
I remember Ruben's ZX6 part too.
Yeah, I remember when we helped him find that. He got it running after a lot of struggle. He got it running and then he sold it. That joint was nice looking too because it was in clean condition. Like the body on that thing was clean. Yeah.
What did Pablo had?
He had a Gixxer, yeah, 04. 04 Gixxer. 750, 600.
That joint was fresh back then.
It was clean, yeah, he had a nice joint. He still got his jacket. He was telling me the other day. He's like, I still got my jacket. I was like, that's funny.
I had that ZX7.
Yep.
I got everything together for it, and I forget what I needed, something before I could get on the road. I'm like, fuck this. I went and bought the CBR.
That's when you bought the CBR.
Yeah, and then whatever, like 3 days after I got CBR, the park came in, and I got that bitch running. Jeff's like, I'll buy it. I'm like, cool.
Oh yeah, right. Jeff took it. I remember.
Yeah. That's why I never rode that bike. I got it running. By the time I got tired of waiting on parts.
That's crazy.
Like, oh, y'all was out, and I'm
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I done sold the Katana.
Right, I remember the Katana. That thing was dangerous. You rode the shit out of it though.
I paid $250 for that thing.
That's a deal.
We was down by Fairmount Park, 22nd something. I was at Chauncey. I worked at the bus company. We went down there and we was at some spot getting some bricks, some breakfast. That shit was fire. I remember that spot.
Getting some breakfast, and
Yeah.
and somebody had one in like the back of a truck or something like that.
No, I was on Craigslist and Chauncey knew the neighborhood and he didn't know the guy, but he's like, come on, I'll take you down there because it's West Philly, you know. I didn't know West Philly too much. And, he's like, I got this breakfast spot, and I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm always down to eat.
Right.
And so I went down there, and the bull wanted $850 for it. I was going down there, I had $500. But then when I got there, he's like, I crashed it 2 days ago. I haven't updated the hopes. It don't start. It don't start no more. So I looked at it as I was looking at it. I didn't know shit about bikes either.
Right.
But I know when I see some broken shit and the neutral safety switch is busted, the start switch was flat out broke. I could see it was broke.
Yeah.
So when we stopped to get breakfast, I jumped in the bed of the truck and we connected the wires together with a knife real quick on our just open wires. Fired that bitch right up in the bed of the truck.
He was like, deal.
And then Chauncey bought me breakfast.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy.
So that was a win-win. I
That's
got
a
a
wild
discount
ass
on the
story.
bike and I got breakfast out the deal.
That's a wild story.
Yeah, that was cool.
We really don't need to think about that.
so we really only need the clutch pads to hold it tightly back up. You smell gas?
Yes? No, it's not burning as well. Yeah, smell this. Alright, back to the other ones off. For more bolts. That's what I'm doing. What are you holding?
The bolts, the basket keeps spinning, but you got enough power, so you should be ready.
Yeah. The washers are in there with this base of the springs. Correct that, not loose. I still got this in there. By clutch. Careful, it's so good and shows in there.
Push the little tap. You push the little tap. Like major.
What am I thinking? I gotta get a socket. I figure out I'm gonna use that and stake that.
To unstake it.
Oh.
I see what you're saying.
What?
Not like a big X on it. I remember doing it and being like, yo, I have one for it. I ain't have a lot of tools back then. But I think it's because I did axles on a fucking Civic or something. You know what I mean?
course.
Check the front.
We have more.
We really only need to think about that.
What'd you say?
So we really only need the push pass to hold it tightly back up. You smell gas?
Yes? No, it's not burning ass oil. Yeah, smell those. Alright, back these other ones off.
What?
There are more bolts. That's what I'm saying. What are you holding?
It holds the basket from spinning, but you got enough power, so you should be ready.
Yeah. So the washers are in there with its basic springs. Correct, not loose. I got this in there. Clutch. Careful, it's still here and shrimping.
Like major.
What am I thinking? I gotta get a socket. I can figure out how to use it and stake that.
Unstake it.
Oh. Yeah.
No, it's re.
That's a horsepower.
Fuck yeah, it is.
That is a big ass
Y'all. You keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
They bite company.
Yeah, they're the ones that sting you, but yeah, whatever you call it. Don't piss it off. They'll come down and attack us.
Trying to get them to run a way different area. Don't piss them off.
Guess they said solo level is going on hold for a little bit.
Keep saying a bunch of different shit, bro.
Yeah.
Season 3 was approved. Season 3 wasn't. I don't know who to believe.
Yep, cool. It's in there now.
Well,
Yeah, where the other screwdriver go I gave you?
I'll put it right there. Yeah, put it back.
It's over here. Alright, instead of bringing 30 home, set that. What else can we do? We did a lot. That's cool. I'm happy with it.
You're running into the teeth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My tongue looked for the teeth.
Mm-hmm. Pain gasket. Once we get that on, torque that.
We already have the gasket for the paint? Sure.
Oh, Yamaha part
Yeah,
right over
I
there.
remember. Good shit, bro.
So yeah, so we just need to torque this bolt here, the stator bolt,
So we do a final.
and the little update.
So you guys saw from the other day when we posted, we just had gotten the bottom end pistons in, bearing sealed. Now we have our stator in, casings completely sealed, oil pump, and ready. We noticed our clutches are bad, so we're gonna replace the clutches. And we got the oil pump in, filter, and all this stuff in here. So not much longer. Probably say one more good session and we should have this thing back together. And figure out when we're gonna put him inside the bike.
It's ready.
Looking good, looking good. This whole journey started in December, so we already know I'm itchy.
Yeah.
No, it's re. That's a horsepower.
Fuck yeah, it is.
That is a big ass.
Y'all. You keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
They bite company.
Yeah, they're the ones that sting you, but yeah, whatever you call it. Don't piss it off. They'll come down and attack us.
Trying to get them to run a way different area. Don't piss them off.
Guess they said solo level is going on hold for a little bit.
Keep saying a bunch of different shit, bro.
Yeah.
Season 3 was approved. Season 3 wasn't. I don't know who to believe.
Yep, cool. It's in there now.
Phil?
Yeah, where the other screwdriver go I gave you?
But I put it right there. Yeah, put it there.
It's over here. Alright, instead of bringing 30, I'm gonna set that.
Alright.
What else can we do? We did a lot. That's cool. I'm happy with it.
You're running into the teeth, right?
What? Yeah, yeah.
Running the tangle for the teeth.
Mm-hmm. Pain gasket. Once we get that on, torque that.
You already have the gasket for the thing?
Oh, Yamaha parts already ordered.
Yeah, I remember. Good shit, bro.
So yeah, so we just need to torque this bolt here, the stator bolt.
So let me do a final.
Do a little back feet.
So you guys saw from the other day when we posted, we just had gotten the bottom end pistons in, bearings sealed. Now we have our stator in, casings completely sealed,
Oil pump.
and ready. We noticed our clutches are bad, so we're gonna replace the clutches. And we got the oil pump in, filter, and all this stuff in here. So not much longer. Probably say one more good session and we should have this thing back together. We'll figure out when we're gonna put him inside the bike.
So that's ready.
It's looking good, looking good. This whole journey started in December, so we already know I'm itchy.